In the name of Almighty Allah, most merciful and most compassionate. First of all, I would like to grant my best wishes and regards, and as well I profoundly welcome you all in my today's class. Hope that everybody of you is okay, doing good, and life has been treating you all. My dear students, today I am going to talk about chapter number 14, the second phase, completing of the preliminary draft. This is Assistant Professor Ahmad Tasal, Hazraty, Master of Education in Teaching English to the speakers of other languages. My dear students, if you want to get our more learning clips, videos or lessons, please subscribe our channel, Elite Learning Academy. So today I'm going to work on the second part of completing the preliminary draft. And the last lesson, or in the previous lesson, we talked about the first phase of the preliminary draft, which is the introduction, the thesis and outline in the text. So now the remaining part would be discussed in this clip or video. So after that outline and thesis statement, we have to bring the text of the paper. Text means the introduction, body, and conclusion. It means all parts of the paper should be in the first draft. The completing of preliminary draft means to bring all the parts together: introduction, body, and conclusion. As you did all the steps of doing research, for example, you choose a problem, you narrow it down from general to specific, then you start reading about that, then you are developing the preliminary bibliography, then you revise the thesis statement, then you start taking notes, and then writing the final draft or the draft. So writing a paper consists of many more things or steps or process, and different scholars put forward different ideas, different ways of doing research, or different process, automation, or steps. So for example, getting ideas, playing with them. For example, you get the idea, then you have to work on that, then you have to refining them, you have to find the relevant idea, and then you have to remove the irrelevant idea, you have to change them. For example, you can bring changes, you are omitting some of the ideas, you are adding more ideas, you are reading about the subject or problem, then you are taking notes, you are drafting, you are paragraphing, and you are revising. So these are the many process or steps we go through all these, and then we have to finally we have to achieve our project. So text of the paper should be neat and legible, should be clear of the errors, and should be readable. Legible means should be readable. Readable means if a person read a text, he should understand and comprehend what is in the text. Your instructor cannot help you if the draft is difficult to read. Your instructor, your advisor can help you to give you the feedbacks. Then you can make it easy and you can make it complex. But we have to try our best as a researcher to make our text as much smooth, easy as possible. Keep in mind in the first draft, no need of the coherent and well polished, because we have the next opportunity for the revising and editing. So again, we have not to be very free, and we should not be very controlled, but we have to work as much as possible to make it clear, smooth, and easy. The next thing, we should not work only in one part of the text, but we have to work in all parts. And this time we have to see all parts in one places. So the next thing, which is very important, is transitions or linking parts of the paper. So how to link the ideas, how to link the sentences, how to link the words, the units, the paragraphs, or the larger unit. So for this, to make our concept clear and to go very smoothly, we have to use transitions. So for transition, we can call connectors, we can call linking elements, or cohesive device. So it is enable the readers to follow your train of thoughts easily. What happened first, second, next, and next. To make our reader smooth, clear, so we have to use transitions. So usage of transition can be used between major sections, between paragraphs in the beginning or at the end, between sentences and larger unit. So organization of the ideas and informations. So the most common ways of organization is these one. We have many more ways to organize our ideas, but these are some of the most important one I brought here for your concept to make it clear. So the first one is chronological order. We can order or organize our ideas based on the chronological order. Chronological orders means time order. For example, we are starting from the first thing which happened to the last, or last to first, by year, by time. For example, if we are going to explain something which has happened yesterday by 12, so if we are going to explain it from yesterday 12 o'clock till now, so we have to go through time base. Beside this, we have the next organization style which is called spatial arrangement or physical location of parts. For example, we are going to explain from top to bottom, from bottom to up, from right to left, or from left to right. So we are going to start from the physical locations of the thing or body or person. The next one is the comparison order of the organization of the ideas, which is talking about the similarities and differences. So if we are going to use the comparison order in order to arrange our ideas, so we have to separate the similarities, and then we have to separate the differences, and then we have to first report the similarities, and then we have to talk about the differences. So beside, we have analogy style of the organization, which is talking about the comparison, emphasizing on similarities. Only we are working on the similarity of the ideas. We are organizing through similarities of the ideas or the problems. The next one, or number fifth one, is contrast. A comparison emphasizing differences. So in this style, we are talking on the differences or distinguishing two things. We are focusing on the differences. So the next way that we have in order to arrange our ideas is increasing importance. We are starting from the least important and move to the most important. In addition to this, we have decreasing the importance, which is start from the most important and move to the least important. For example, something is very important, it comes at the start, and smoothly we have to move to the least important. Decreasing the generality from general to specific. We are explaining or reporting something from the general point and then we move to the specific point. Or increasing generality, we are starting from specific point and move to the general point. So beside, we have development by examples. Using examples to support explanation. We are using the examples in order to support the ideas and organize the ideas. We have the next way, which is called cause and effect. What happened with reasons why it happens. We are coming with the reasons, with the philosophy of things, and we are explaining or reporting things or organizing our ideas. The next way of the organizing idea is classification, grouping things together in a logical way. We are grouping things, the same thing, the different thing, and then we start our reporting. And the last one is logical division, which is emphasizing on the analysis into the parts. We are analyzing different parts and then we are reporting that. Integration ideas from source. So in the paper, it is important to differentiate your own words with the author words. The most important thing in the research, we have to be free of the plagiarism. To be free of the plagiarism, we have to separate our own ideas with the ideas of other people. And if we use other people's idea, we have to confirm that. We should practice two specific skills in order to avoid ourselves from the plagiarism: direct quotation and paraphrasing or indirect quotation. Or if we are going to directly quote the text, the ideas of the authors, so we have to confirm and the credit should goes to the author. So we have to copy the exact word of the authors. Then we have to cite it by the name of the author, the date of publication, and the page number. The next way is paraphrasing, or we can call it indirect quotation, starting the ideas of others in your own words. The idea is not ours, but the writing is ours. In this case, also we have to confirm by citation, that is, we have to come up with the name of the authors and with the date of publication. There is no need of the page number. So paraphrasing means if strong grammar skills, vocabulary skills, and reported speech skills. This should be in a person who want to be good in paraphrasing. So now we are going to work on common verbs which is used in reporting. Common words for reporting is state, say, remarks, maintain, observe, emphasize, imply, suggest, explain. For example, Ahmad stated that, Mahmoud says that, I remark, he maintained, he observed. So these are the verbs which is used in reporting. Besides, we use some of the phrases. For example, X name of the authors, according to X, in the opinion of X. X expressed the view that, X expressed the idea that, as X says, as reported by X. These are some of the phrases which is used for reporting. For example, we are going to work on the report. We say that according to X, it means according to Ahmad, or Ahmad expressed that, or it is expressed by Ahmad. These are the phrases which is used in reporting. Besides, we have some of the expression. For example, the study shows that, the results demonstrate that, her research revealed that, this research proves that. These are the expression which is used to report the data. So introduction. The first part of your introduction states the general context of the topic. For example, if we choose a problem, the first thing we have to have a background information about the problem, which is called general statement or general context of the text. And the next, a reference of the work done by others. For example, if you are reporting, for example, you are working on the introduction, the thesis is the last sentences of the introductory paragraph. So the first sentences are called general context. It should be a background knowledge. So if we work on the background knowledge, we should confirm and we should give citation. We have to give the credits to the authors, and the ideas should be scholar's idea. What your paper focus on? So it should be introduction, which is the last sentence, and that is called thesis statement. First of all, we have to start from general viewpoint about the problems, and finally the last sentence, which is very important, that's called the thesis statement or the problem. Main points of your outline, and after that you have to work on the body, not indenting or numbering format, consecutive a few sentences, a summary of the main points to the readers to make the concept clear. Then we have to move for the body or developmental part. The largest part of the paper is body, which is consist of many paragraphs, not one paragraph. It is the combination of many paragraphs, and it's called the proven part, because what we studied in the introduction, we have to prove it here. So then we have to have some supporting information in order to support. These are the evidences in order to prove or answer the question that we state as a thesis statement in the introductory paragraph. We have to have relevant argument, not irrelevant argument, and we have to bring some evidence in order to support the ideas that we state in the introduction. And finally, we bring the conclusion. A good conclusion is the logical outcome of all that has been said earlier. It means conclusion can be the restatement of the introduction. Usually the thesis is repeated or paraphrasing in the concluding sentence. Occasionally ends with an effective quotation. Sometimes we are not bringing the thesis statements again or paraphrasing. Then we bring a new ideas or quotation or effective quotation. So we should not end the conclusion suddenly. We can state the main points in a very summarized form of the paraphrasing. This is another way for the conclusion. Using quotation. Although direct quotation appears in most research papers, they are not an important part of them. Use direct quotation when they are very relevant, when they express something in a very special or effective ways, when they are good examples of ideas that you will focus on. So we can bring some of the very well-known scholars' quotation at the end in order to motivate the readers, or we can summarize the main points, or we can state the thesis statement, or we can conclude it with the effective quotations of the scholars. Keep in mind that direct quotation should not be more than 10% of the whole paper, because more than that it would consider as a plagiarism. Then last point, which is very important, that we have to keep the readers in mind. So These are some of the techniques in order to keep it in mind while we're working on the project for the readers. A research is written for an audience that is knowledgeable in the subject. We are researching and we solve the problem. It means we solve our problem, but we publish it in order if in upcoming years other people or have the same problem, they will read our notes. So we need to keep them in mind. To keep them in mind, first think about your instructors as an audience. What do you make? Your teacher or your instructor will give you the feedback. You have to work on the feedback and you have to bring changes in order to make it clear, because it is like a piloting. You give your project to the lecturer or to the professor or to the instructor or the teacher. He is reading. He is, suppose that he is your readers. He read and he will identify some of the problems and you have to adjust that. The first thing, we have to be into the point. It means we have to explain the relevant information. For example, if we talk about the glass, all the information should be about the glass. We should not talk about teapots, but we have to talk only on the cups. So provide exact and the most important data. We should not be too vague or too general, but we have to be specified on our own topic. We have to provide the exact information with the evidence in order to motivate the readers to read. Avoid telling your readers what they already know. If you emphasize up-to-date ideas and information, we should not state something which is already researched, but we should talk about the new things in order to give suspension to the audience or to the readers to read our research. Examples from recent journal article, not from textbook, because the audience will have good understanding. So we have to talk on the exact or the recent or the updated information. Thank you very much. If you have any question, please post your question and you will receive your responses. Thank you very much for your keen attention.